We'll start off this morning with Evan Barnes.
Mike, how are we doing this morning?
Doing good, Evan. How you doing?
Doing all right.
All right.
I guess if we're jumping into it, the odds obviously have two quarterbacks to prepare for Arkansas State. And
Yes.
last year, you kind of had to prepare for the same thing. So even though it's two different ones, does it still kind of have a little bit of practice knowing you did it before last year?
Yes, Blackman and Hatcher are both really good football players. The thing that's about these two guys is they've both played a lot of football and seen a lot of things, So I was impressed with both of them in the game. Hatch had a few more touchdown passes, but Blackman still threw for basically 200 yards in half the game. So I was impressed with both those guys. The offense is the same as it was last year. It's the same offensive coordinator. So there's not any, like with the new staff, you would think there might be a little bit of ability not to run what they want to run. Their offensive, all those kids have been running this offense, every single one of them, for a long time. So there's a lot of carryover, and they've got some good athletes, a lot of guys that played against us last year.
And so with that, does it kind of make it, again, with this veteran defense, does it make it kind of easy to prepare because they have been through it before, or is it still tricky because Blackman and Hatcher both present unique challenges, especially with Blackman being at FSU last year?
I think we're familiar with it, but they're familiar with us. So I think that there's they're going to be a little bit of a chess match to see what they do and what we do. And so but I do think, both quarterbacks are good players, and it looks like they both understand what the system's doing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Frank and then Terry.
Hey, Mike, how did you like the way your defense responded after that opening drive against Nicholls State?
Yeah, I thought they kept competing. They kept doing everything. I thought Nicholls State, executed pretty good on that first drive. The quarterback, who I thought was excellent going into the game, I still think he's really, really good football player. I think he would have started on 7 or 8 of the teams we played last year. I think he's an excellent player. But yeah, I thought they responded well and did some good things and kept playing hard. I wish we would have played a little bit better down in the red zone, which we've been working hard on, but they made some good plays down there.
All in all, were you, pleased with the film after you rewatched it?
Well, as a coach, you're never pleased. There's always little things you find all the time. But I thought that, they kept playing hard. I didn't feel like there was any major confusion by our guys like it was early in the season last year. I thought they just kept playing hard and kept pushing.
How you doing, Coach?
Doing well. How are you doing today?
Man, life is good. Life is good. Hey, what one player exceeded your expectations, your standard, in a game against Nicholls?
Well, I thought that J.J. Russell played really, really well and hard, and I thought Zay played really hard. I thought those two guys flew around well. Pitts did a lot of good things, but I just thought that JJ, he's lost some weight. I don't know if you've noticed that, and he's faster than he was last year or any time before. And that's noticeable how he's flying around with the football.
Back to Evan.
I thought John Tate played really well coming back off that injury for his first game. I thought he played. I knew he's been doing really well in practice, but out there the first time in a game, and you hadn't played in a game in over 2 years, I was impressed with John.
Kind of going off of that, I lost my train of thought. Sorry.
Okay.
You guys also how pleased were you with the pass rush going? I know you guys didn't get a lot of sacks, but that's not always the best way to kind of gauge.
Yeah, the pass rush. We got to that kid. You saw him. We got to him 4 or 5 times clean, and couldn't tackle him. I mean, we just couldn't tackle him. The run he made on the goal line when we had him tackled on the 5, and he makes 3 of us and gets in the end zone. I was disappointed in that. I was disappointed when we came clean on some games that we ran up front, and we were clean. I mean, absolutely clean, and couldn't tackle the kid. But I saw that on film too. Every game, he would make people miss, make people miss. Hopefully when we come clean this week, we'll get him on the ground. We did last year. But that young man is really, really athletic. I mean, he wasn't Gatorade Player of the Year in Louisiana for no reason. He didn't sign with LSU and leave when Burrow came, and then won the national championship, I think, in junior college, and then went to Missouri. And when they brought in the Bryant from Clemson, he left there. So, I mean, he's a heck of an athlete.
So it wasn't a concern. It was more, you think it was just because of how tough the quarterback was and not anything you thought?
Well, I mean, it's always a concern. You want to have more sacks, but I mean, we came clean. Our games that we ran worked like we wanted to. I mean, we had 3 times we were at his back completely clean and missed him. We can't do that. And we'll keep working on tackling that, understanding how they're going to spin out, how they're going to make people miss. Yeah, that was disappointing not getting those sacks for sure.
Gotcha. And last thing for me with Quindell, obviously his leadership being back. Have you guys kind of challenged him in any kind of way to just be more of a different type of leader? I know you mentioned kind of, he's a little bit more healthy, but have you challenged him in any kind of way to just, to lead more with his experience?
Well, the great thing about it is we haven't had to challenge him, but he has led. He's led, and he's led with his voice. He's led with his actions. He's led with his play. He's led with his competitiveness. He's led with his study. He's led with how he acts off the field. He does it all. So we did not have to tell him what to do. He has taken leadership role and done a great job with it.
Thanks.
All right. Thank you, Coach MacIntyre.
All right. Y'all good? See you Saturday. Have a good one.